guys and gals, welcome back to Houston Kilby YouTube channel, and I'm Houston Kilby. And today's episode is part 2 of the old wheelies build back here. In the last episode, you guys got to see us doing a lot of updates to this thing and getting this thing ready for part 2. So in part 2, we're going to be finishing up putting the air bottles on. We're going to be putting the transmission tunnel back in, hopefully for the final time, and all that'll be done. And finishing up moving the throttle pedal, all that good stuff. There's going to be a lot of fabrication on the throttle pedal, and I mean some really fine-tuning, in-depth fabrication of just stuff that's going to have to be finessed a little bit to make all that work. So you guys sit back and enjoy, and let's get after it. Alrighty guys, let's jump on into this here. So you guys saw in the last episode that we were going to have to cut on the transmission tunnel, and boy do we have to modify it a lot. We got to make room for his foot, we got to make room for the pedal, and this is kind of our first whack at it here to try to see cardboard template wise of how much we're going to have to modify and change. So yeah, so here you guys go. We've got it out here on the table so we can kind of take a look at this thing and see if this is exactly how we want our templates or not. And you know, cardboard templates are a great way to figure out where you want your panels at, how you want your panels to look, especially if it's flat panels, because the cardboard is flat itself as well. And so here we go. We're starting to make each section at a time. And I tell y'all, this little area right here had a ton, I mean a ton of hours involved in it. Just making each one of these panels, getting them to fit, getting them to line up, drilling all the holes out, putting all the clecos in it, and not killing this piece either at the same time, meaning not beating up your aluminum panels. So you kind of got to take your time and you got to make your stuff right. So transitioning on in here to the throttle pedal, we're going ahead and making some mounts for this on the jig table here before we get it inside the car. We're getting some stuff kind of tacked up here to try to see what we're going to look at. And at the same time, we had to take the magneto out of it as well, just to make room so we could make sure the throttle cable was going to work. So here you guys go. We're starting to get some things mounted up to inside the car, and we came across an issue, and that issue meaning now we got to modify the actual pedal itself. So we remade the top half of the pedal, and here you guys go. We're starting to see this getting stick built and put together here, what this is going to look like, and making sure we've got enough room, make sure we've got clearance for everything. Now it's time to mount the cable. Had to drill a new hole, had to move the mounts for the cable. Pretty intuitive little section here. Got to fire up the little lathe and make some little bushings here as well. So moving on into this little section here, went ahead and welded up the throttle pedal, got that done, and now we can actually start to see what this pedal is going to do with the cable hooked up. And you guys can see here, we're starting to have some action going on here. We're about ready to make some whoop whoop noises. But anyway, so here you guys go. The last little section of this throttle pedal is I wanted to put a strong back on the back side of it and a little spot for a throttle for a throttle stop. And we'll show you guys that here in just in a minute. So now you guys can see we've got a little pedestal there and a transmission area for your foot to sit, and I think this deal's going to work out pretty nice. So I'm about to get the pedal put back in it here in a minute, and this area here that I'm touching works really well to put your foot on so your foot don't slip. We got all the welding done, and I'm telling you what, I wish I got some footage of me upside down in this bad boy. Because it was tight. It was really tight to TIG weld up, but we got it. Alrighty guys, here it is. Got all kinds of fabricated pedal put there together. It was a lot of work right there, believe that or not. But it now works. We're in good shape there, so we'll get this bolt put on here, and we're in good shape, guys. So that's gonna work. Alright guys, so another quick little thing I just done. I didn't video it, but this bracket right here was on the side of the steering shaft. We cut this off. This is kind of a problem for the driver. It kind of want to, if this makes sense, grab a hold of your pants. It wouldn't let you get out of the car, so we got that out of there. This was a bracket for the original air shifters when this car had a Lincoln and stuff in it. So we don't need that anymore. It's got a power glide in it. So this needed to be moved and got out of the way. So there we go. That's all cleaned up now. And it'd be a whole lot easier for the driver to get in and out of the car. All right, guys, so something I want to show y'all real quick is this little dude right here. You guys see this bolt and nut right here? What this is the throttle stop, okay? So what it's gonna do is it's gonna bottom out on the pedal right here at wide open. All right, so you see that? The pedal won't go any farther back. All right, so that's the throttle stop right there. That's wide open. What you wanna do is, especially on these injector hats like this, you gotta be really careful. All right, so watch this. This is wide open, right? The blades are level. If you're not careful on these types of hats, what they'll actually do is, if this is wide open, all right, if this is closed, all right, we're at idle, wide open. If you don't set that throttle stop right, the blades will actually do like this right here. Okay, so you don't want that. So anyways, tech tip of the day, throttle stop. All right, guys, now we're getting into the air bottle section here. I'm gonna keep the mounts pretty simple on this, but I think it'll look clean. We're gonna mount this on the passenger side, passenger door X-brace. That way a driver can get to it. And it'll be really strong too. And that way, if anybody needs to work on it, it's really easy to get out of the car. So here guys go, I've got it welded up. Even got one of the shop pups in there to help me out. She's been a little bit crazy here lately. She cost me $100 in the shop during this video. She ate up one of my welding wires, so I appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna keep on moving here. Getting this job done. We've got the bottle fitting where I want it. I got the regulator where I want it now. I had to do a little bit of finessing here to get that where I liked it at, and I was happy with. All right, guys, we've got to take a quick second to give a quick shout out to these old Delphi headlamps. These things work really, really good. We've been using these for quite some time now, and if you guys use my promo code, Full Metal Goat, you guys get 10% off on these things, and I get a little kickback on these things too, so it helps us out as well. So you guys be sure and use that promo code and be sure and pick up one of these bad boys. All right, guys, what is going on? I think we're done. I think we got this project done here. Just got done finishing up, putting the Zeus plates on the front end. Believe it or not, there wasn't a single Zeus plate on the front end up here that was actually attached to the one-piece front end. So what would happen is vibrations, or when you go take the front end on and off, these whole plates would come off. So went ahead and got these things riveted on, and that way the Zeuses will stay with the front end. It was a little bit of a mess to deal with, wasn't it, Jesse?
Yeah, man. But I think Kenny's set up now, dude.
I think that's going to be a whole lot better.
And heck, even mounting them Zeus fasteners down even tightened up the body lines, too.
It did. It did. So that way stuff ain't moving around. It'll go back in its same place every time. So that was a good deal. So let's walk through the car here and show you guys what all got done here. All right. So inside the car, the biggest thing, or the biggest change, is definitely the transmission tunnel. There's a lot of changes that got done in there to make room for the throttle pedal and the throttle foot, so that way the driver could actually drive this thing. It's extremely cramped up in here as it is anyways, and before, the driver would really have his leg and foot all the way over on the transmission, and it wasn't fun to drive. It was pretty crazy looking, wasn't it, Jesse?
Yeah, it was wild. I couldn't do it.
It was the situation. So we went through, redone the pedal situation. That's fixed now. So now the driver is a whole lot more comfortable. There's also a weird looking piece that was here on the steering shaft. I cut that off, cleaned that up, so now the driver can get in and out of it a whole lot easier. And finally, the last thing today was getting all the air lines hooked up, air bottle hooked up, regulator, solenoids, all that stuff is there. And I put wiring together, so now all he has to do is put the, he's going to have to get him a little RPM controller from MSD or from Holley, one of the two. to get this all to work and stuff, so we can RPM shift this thing. So that's kind of where it's at right now. So I think it's time to get the step sides back on it, get the doors back on it, and I think this project is done here. So Kenny, it's ready for you, buddy. Thank you for your business, and as always, it's been a blast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to go over to KillerMotorsports.com, where we've got all kinds of merch over there and all kinds of high performance products as well. And definitely a big shout out to our sponsors and partners. Till next time, you guys have a good one.